Whoa, another gorgeous afternoon in the north, guys. It's like plus 10 degrees. I wanted to show you the snow machine trail because in 2 days we've pretty much lost the trail, and I wouldn't be back here except if you can notice behind me there's four-wheeler tracks on our snow machine trail. So the neighbor called me and he said, well, there's kids playing back there on four-wheelers, I need you to go track them down. So I just spent an hour, and this kid has been down every trail we own, and he cut his own trail, well, just pushed his bike through and created a trail to join down onto ours. So I had to go down and find him and say, these are all private. And Dave is pretty good. He will let neighbors walk on here if he knows them really well. And that's why I pack it down with the snow machine. But the four-wheelers just destroy the trail. But anyway, I want to show you guys 2 warm days, and I will not be bringing the sled back here again unless we get more snow and, you know, minus 20 for a week or something, because it's almost thawed, almost gone. Sheriff Gary's riding the trails today. Punk ass kids. Oh, I feel old, but I also feel it's justified. You don't just go riding on other people's property. Spring has definitely hit the swamp. There's 2 feet of frozen water in there, just in my front yard. As you can see behind me, we have lost 2 feet of snow here in about 3 days. It rained, it was plus 10. Now the swamp is flooded. It refroze because it's cold this morning. It's minus 8 degrees Celsius right now, so you could probably walk across that. But there's something in the light, an ethereal quality, a warmth to it even though it's not warm, a certain glow to it. Spring. I can feel it. It's here. The wind is cold, and you can probably see my skin is still peeling. I really badly damaged the skin on my face from that 10-hour stint out on the lake fishing a week ago. 7 days ago to the day, I had blisters on my cheeks and my nose, and all my skin peeled. And that was wind damage alone. There was hardly any sun that day. It was all wind. And you forget these things when you go out as an adult. You know, you don't go out every day like you did when you were a kid. And when I was a kid, I would have known, bring a scarf with you to wrap around your face when you're going to be on the lake all day. But as an adult, I didn't even give it a thought. So not only are the patches of my lawn and my bare driveway indicators of spring, but I've been watching the red squirrels chasing each other around the tree here all morning. And of course, I brought the camera out to try to get some video or photos. And they don't want to cooperate. It's always the case. But spring is here. Mating season is here. The red squirrels are chasing each other. Right now, she doesn't want anything to do with them. She's running. And Gerald got a photo of a robin the other day, which to me seemed very early because that was before all the snow melted. But apparently, the robins are back. Now, I left Gage in the house on the off chance that I was going to get some photos of these squirrels here, but because they're not here, let's go let him out. He hasn't been out all morning. I'm sure he'll be super excited to get out here and play. And gone. Oh, aren't you just excited? So even though my face is cold because of the wind and my fingers, things are melting. Anywhere there's tin or anything that can reflect the sunlight, it is melting. Glory be to the sun. So it is days like this, the first days of spring, that my spirit gets uplifted after a long stinking winter of being stuck in the house. I feel adventure on the horizon. Looking at the boat just makes me say, yes, this year I am definitely going to dedicate more time to that boat and the kayak. I've got adventures I want to get to, places that I can only access by boat, and this year we're going to do it. So I think in the last 3 years I've been out in the boat 6 times. So it's a priority. I'm going to get it ready first thing here in the spring, get the battery in it, get it cleaned out, fish finder ready. We're going to do some fishing, we're going to do some metal detecting, we're going to do some history, searching for old fort sites, trade routes, things like that. Kyle's going to be joining me on these adventures. You know, John, Sean, maybe even Stan, I don't know. Rededicate myself to trying to hit that 60 metal detecting adventures this year. Last year, I think we only got to 26 or 28, so a little disappointed. They were good adventures, but there's a lot more history to be found out there, and I think the boat is going to be integral to getting to those places that people don't go. We already go miles and miles into the bush, but you got to push that envelope a little further, and that's going to include camping out. We're going to need to do some camping out. Get to these places that are so far back that you can't just do it in one day. You've got to go, spend a couple days, and camp out. And that's the plan anyway. So I do have a routine here in the spring. It's been the same every year for the last 10 years. There's a certain order of operations, and usually one of those days, sometimes even more than a day, would be repairing this driveway. I would have to bring in gravel and grade it and fix all of that. I don't have to do that anymore. It's paved, so I'm going to save myself a couple days there. But one of the things I do need to do is service all of the trailers. It's kind of a tire thing. You got to get all of the trailers out, you got to grease all of the wheels, and you got to put air in all the tires and make sure everything's working. And then I got to check this trailer as well. That's going to be home base for a few videos. We're going to go camp out, pull the little trailer. There are so many old logging roads and places that we can put that, guys. And in Canada, you can spend the night. It's not illegal to just park that on a back road for a night or two and go exploring, paranormal, whatever. That trailer is going to get used more this year as well. I haven't booked any stays at the provincial parks, which we usually like to do with the trailer. But you've got to book them months in advance. And this year we just weren't organized. I wasn't talking to my friend Jen, the Wild Yam. So, I mean, we always take it to her place, which is a 5-hour drive from here, and we camp out in her fields and things like that. But I would like to get to a provincial park, maybe one of the ones that we haven't been to. There is a chance that I can just show up and they'll have spots, but I'm going to try to do that, get to a different one. We always like to do an expose on the camping scene here in Canada, and I've shown you guys some great parks. So, and I mean, there's dozens of them, right? I've only shown you guys maybe 4 or 5, so that's on the list to do as well. So we also do a shed changeover. I've got the snowblower and all the winter stuff in the sheds right now. That all needs to be taken out. The summer stuff needs to be put in, the Suron, batteries charged, and everything from 4-wheelers to lawn tractors and all the maintenance and oil changes and all of those things. So I do have a busy couple of weeks. The garage is a huge one I've got to clean out. There's a whole winter's worth of sand and dirt in the garage. Not so bad since I paved the driveway. And there, just to show you, is some of the sand that's in the garage. But actually, I didn't shovel it out once this winter, so that's not bad at all compared to what it used to be before we had the driveway done. So this is another project this year. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the stairs, they're kind of leaning a little bit. I mean, they were never anything fancy or great to begin with, but this railing here is leaning out. The stairs, they do not have a footing underneath them, so the bottom, I'm sure there's some rot on the bottoms of each of these posts that are on the ground. And what I wanted to do was replace this whole deck. It's 15 years old. It's pretty good, but there are a couple of boards here that do have some rot that need to be replaced. Right here, that dark, it's rotten. If I push on it, it's soft. So there's 3 or 4 boards that need to be replaced. The wife wants to replace this railing with a glass railing. And we have our gazebo that we put up here. but I want to replace it with one that actually has a fixed metal roof on it, because we have replaced the canvas roof on here 4 times now in probably 7 years. So I'm tired of buying canvas roofs that cost as much as the whole gazebo did. But the majority of this deck is still solid. There's nothing wrong with it. If I replace a couple boards, I think I'll make do with it the way it is for a couple more years. I'm the guy that has to shovel the snow off of here 2-3 times a winter. There's so much weight, you know, you get 3-4 feet of snow here. It's too much weight. And right now I throw the snow through those slats. Very easy to do, but my wife wants glass railing all the way around this. And the problem with that is then I have to lift the snow up this high and throw it out. And well, I'm just getting too old to do that, guys. It's heavy, it's a lot of work. It takes me hours to shovel the snow off of here. So I don't know what the solution there is, right? Got to keep the wife happy. We did have glass railings at our old house. They are beautiful, other than the fact that you got to clean them a lot more. These, I haven't touched these things in 10 years, right? So more work. That's what it all means. So a few spring things that need to be done. I put in the covers on these eaves troughs 4 years ago. I haven't had to clean my eaves troughs since then. That was one of the best damn things I ever did. I saved myself another full day of work right there, because my roof is huge. And to not have to get up, and it's, the 20-foot ladder is not tall enough. I'm still reaching up over my head as high as I can reach and scooping out this nasty stuff, and it stinks. So I haven't had to do that in 4 years. And those, I was just looking at the gutters there, they look fantastic. I installed all of that myself. I don't know if I ever told you guys, my neighbor Win actually had minnows swimming in his gutters. He has the trout pond over there, and I guess the birds come and they eat the fish and the eggs and whatever that's in there, and the eggs got pooped out into his gutters. And when he went to clean them, I think it was about the 3rd year that we lived here, he's like, Gary, you got to come see this. There's minnows swimming around in my gutter. So that was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. But I get little maple trees that grow in mine, because I have maple trees all around here, and the seeds blow in there. And one year I had one that was like 2 feet high. So it's moist enough, and they love it up there. Plenty of sunshine. So that's my spring list of things that I have to do that you guys probably won't see in video format, but there are adventures coming, and I'm hoping that within a month here we can start swinging the detector. And sadly, now that Tom is gone, there will be no tapping of trees this year. I won't be doing any maple syrup. What made me think of that is Win is setting up his work area over there right now. I can hear him hammering out stuff, and he's got a whole deck and things that he sets up. He's got an osmosis system, super high end, and he puts out hundreds and hundreds of buckets over there. So maybe I'll go over and have a beer with Win, and maybe we'll get a bit of video of that. But I myself will not be straining sap through Tom's old work socks, which has become a ritual around here. I'm going to miss that.